colleague Ronnie saying if you don't watch this guy's YouTube channel, you're making a big mistake.
It's vampire.
What up, everybody? What's up? How you doing? It is a Monday evening, so a happy Monday to you. It is Horror Movie Monday. It's been called many things. It's been called many things, but right now it's Horror Movie Monday, and we got some horror movies to talk about. So, welcome aboard. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you're having a wonderful Labor Day weekend as it wraps up, and everybody heads back to work tomorrow. So enjoy it while it lasts. Hopefully, you got the day off and you get to enjoy some time with family, loved ones, friends, whatever you want to do. Maybe watch some horror movies. You never know. But got some fun stuff to talk about tonight. I finally watched the new Crow movie. I finally watched a new Crow movie last night. We're going to dive into that. We're going to talk about some other things. But first, I have a major announcement. This is very exciting stuff. So if you would first, please hit that thumbs up button for me. If you would, it would mean a whole heck of a lot to me. I have a pretty exciting announcement to make. First, let me say hello, Fluffy Gamer. What's up, Fluffy Gamer? James is just here for OGP's belly button. That's it. Just got to see the belly button. That's it. I'll tell you what, I'll be in Vegas in a couple days. You never know. Might get a chance. Maybe some pool jumping in for the right super chat. You never know. Mario, what's up? How you doing? Mario, Michael McNally, Robert C, House of G fam, Daniel, what's up, everybody? How is you all doing tonight? Because that was coming out of my mouth all wrong. It was coming out all wrong. So I just went. I was like, screw it. Instead of saying how are, I'm just gonna say how is. How's you guys doing? Eh? You doing all right over there? Oh, Major Reeves. What's up, Major Reeves? How you doing? Look at this. All the legends jumping in here. But here we go. We got something exciting to talk about. I am embarking upon a new adventure, a brand new adventure. This adventure will not change. We're still going to be doing the daily lives, enjoying all this stuff. So don't go nowhere. But I do need you to do something for me. I am embarking upon a new adventure that we call the ultraterrestrials. The ultraterrestrials. Yes, the ultraterrestrials will be a new show that we will do once a month. I believe there may be other stuff down the road. Who knows? But for right now, we're committing to once a month, where myself, Mr. Master Chaos, Mr. Jeff Mandel, and the lovely Mel, as in My Killer Podcast, all four of us are going to be diving in to the world of the paranormal, whether it's UFOs, whether it's ghosts, whether it's whatever, you name it, haunts or whatever, stuff like that. We're going to be talking about it. Anything in the world of supernatural, paranormal, extraterrestrials, all that stuff. And it's going to be, we're going to have fun. We always have fun. You know, you put Master Chaos, Mel, and I together, and it's going to be a blast. And then you're adding in the legend Jeff Mandel, as in directed the 1980s Elves horror movie. It is going to be a blast. We're going to be doing this. There is a new channel. Master Chaos created that channel today specifically for this adventure moving forward. I have put a link down below to that channel, and I would like for you all to subscribe and join us as we adventure down the ultra terrestrial highway. And we're going to have some guests on. We're going to be talking about different things. The first episode will be on the 18th of this month, Wednesday, the 18th. So just over 2 weeks from now till we get to the first episode. And it'll be kind of it's going to be like our pilot episode. We're going to be introducing ourselves and what got us into being interested in the paranormal and extraterrestrial and that stuff. Do we believe in ghosts or whatever? Just about us and what the show is going to be about. And then in October, we should have a fun episode as well. So with this in mind, two things. One, I would like you at some point, whether you go now and come back or whether you do it after we're done here, I do have a link down below. I would love for you to go subscribe to that channel so you can join us on that venture. It's going to be a blast. And two, if you know anybody or you have experienced anything like ghost related, are you being haunted? Do you know anybody that's being haunted? Do you know anybody who's firsthand witnessed a UFO sighting or anything like that? If you have, I would love to hear from you and possibly talk about getting you on as a guest at some point, or that person. So if you know anybody like that, let me know, and we'll definitely try and get them on or you on and talk about it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Believer or non-believer, you should come check us out, because we're going to be diving into it. And we're not just blind faith going to say, oh, it's real. I believe. We're going to be kind of diving in and doing some research and trying to figure things out. And Jeff has a whole bunch of EVPs and interesting things that we're going to be able to play for you all. I am going to dive into the archives of the Clown Motel Massacre raw footage, where we got some weird anomalies in the audio. So I'm going to dive into that stuff. Hopefully you have some of that for you. And we'll be talking about different ghost hunting adventures we did and stuff. And if you remember a while back, I went with Matt. We spent the night in the room where Stu Unger died. And I've been to the other hotel downtown Vegas, the Apache Hotel, trying to see if we could conjure up any spirits or anything. And maybe there'll be stuff like that down the road with it. I don't know. But this is going to be a panel show where we talk about things that we've seen and kind of investigate them and learn more about the world of ghosts and UFOs. So it'll be a lot of fun. I'm telling you, Master Chaos, Mel, Jeff, and myself, we're going to have a blast. So if you would, please subscribe over there. It's going to be a lot of fun. I promise you. So ultra terrestrials, there it is. And now, man, we have some stuff to talk about this week in the world of horror movies. I think something very, very exciting and something we're all looking forward to is Beetlejuice finally coming to theaters this week. And I know some folks, very, very, very few people have gotten to see like advanced screenings and stuff. And I have not heard one bad thing about it yet. I haven't gotten any reviews. I did rewatch the trailer and it looks fun. I worry with the trailer, because the trailer was like 2.5 minutes long. I worry they gave us too much with that. But I mean, it is what it is. Hopefully we have a blast sitting here and watching Beetlejuice, and we will review it. I will be in Las Vegas when I check that out, and I will be reviewing it and uploading a review of Beetlejuice. We will do a non-spoiler review right after, like a reaction review right out of the theater, no spoilers. That will be up for you like Thursday night or Friday, because I'm going to go see it as soon as I can. So be on the lookout for this weekend, that video. And again, there won't be any spoilers. That's the way we do it. Reaction review. I want you all to be able to watch the video, and I promise you I won't say very much at all. I'll give you a score. I'll give you production value. We'll just score the different things. We won't dive into the the real storyline or any of that stuff. Just give you gut feeling, reaction, all that stuff. So be on the lookout for that for Beetlejuice this week. And look at this. What? Magic happens, and Mr. Ward is in the house.
I came through your back door. It was wide open.
You did. And you did it magically. You didn't even have to ring the doorbell. So
no,
that's phenomenal. And how are you doing this Monday, sir?
I am fine. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. And we are very excited to have John here because John and I have both recently suffered through the new Crow movie. And son of a gun, oof, we got some stuff to talk about there. But first, this week, John, we have Beetlejuice coming out in theaters. Are you a Beetlejuice fan?
Yes, but I don't know if I'll be seeing Beetlejuice in the theater. I think I'll probably be watching it on streaming.
Well, I'll tell you what, maybe we can get somebody to help us out with that because I think we need to go see that. But we'll see. Depends on how things go. But
I'm disappointed that it's not Beetlejuice. What is it? Beetlejuice Takes Hawaii or Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian. That was the original sequel. So
I don't know that would have done as well. But the trailer. Now, have you seen the trailer for this one?
yes.
Okay, I think it looks pretty good. Your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, there's obvious reasons for why certain people aren't coming back, but yeah, we'll see. Tim Burton's very hit and miss with me, but I think more hit than miss. So.
Okay. Watching the trailer, it looks pretty good. I don't expect it. If the original was a 10 out of 10, I would guess this one's probably going to fall in there around like an 8 out of 10 or hopefully at least a 7 out of 10. But I'm expecting to walk out pleased.
Okay. All righty. we will see, Michael, I remember when Tim Burton's Batman came out and there was the petition to have Michael Keaton, because he had just done Beetlejuice, removed as Batman. Yeah. But I had faith. I had faith in him that he could do Batman, and he still remains my favorite Batman. I was hoping Seth Rogen would have that same thing with Green Hornet, but nope, he fucked up that movie. So
well, I think Michael Keaton is most of our favorite Batman. And you have to remember, in the 80s, it was a crazy decade. Everybody was coked out of their minds and partying, and nobody knew what was going on. We were just excited to have microwave ovens and color televisions and MTV. So there's a lot of skewed stuff from the 80s. It was a fun decade, but I wouldn't put too much into stock into the way people felt about Michael Keaton.
Yeah, a decade of decadence. So, well, I was a Ben Affleck supporter for Batman because I saw the movie Hollywoodland, and he played, Superman. He played George Reeves, and he had like a fake nose on and stuff. But I thought he did an excellent job, portraying him and playing Superman. And Kevin Smith was right. He said that you could put Ben Affleck in basically any role. You could play Batman or the Jaws and Shark. I mean, the Jaws and Shark, the Shark in Jaws.
There you go.
And, and he could do it. And so I was a supporter of him, and I still am. So I think he's one of the best, at least one of the best Bruce Waynes out there. I thought he did a really good job as Bruce Wayne.
Well, Ben Affleck is a phenomenal actor. We love Ben Affleck, and he has survived J-Lo at least twice. So, he can handle his own. So, well, in addition to Beetlejuice, we have Speak No Evil coming out the following week. Have you seen the trailer for this?
Yes, it looks interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I am. Well, I guess I maybe leave it up there for a second. The cast looks decent. The premise is kind of fun. I feel like it's kind of a tired premise. Like this has been done before enough, but based on what we get in the trailer, that a family is out vacationing, and then they get stuck, and the people end up being bad that they're stuck with, and then them trying to escape. I don't know. I want this to be good, but I'm not holding my breath. And I think that is, I mean, I should go watch it in the theater for the sake of the channel here, but I feel like this is a movie that should be straight to streaming. So there is that. Any other final words on Speak No Evil before we dive into our frustrations that involve the Crow?
I would say for Speak No Evil is I agree with you about going straight to streaming, but of course more horror movies that that play in the theater and make money, the better, even if they're not great. So I'm up for that. There's that new Blumhouse movie that's out or coming out called Afraid AI, and so I don't know if that's typical Blumhouse these days, like Night Swim, but even if I don't like these, like I hated the movie Smile, but I'm glad it made a lot of money. So.
Yeah, well, and that's the key with horror movies, like them or not, you want them to do well so that companies keep making more horror movies for us. So I do want to mention I have seen a couple other movies recently, including The Crow. One was The Mist. I watched this last night. I had seen this a long time ago, but I had forgotten, or maybe I didn't even realize that guy right there, Mr. Thomas Jane, was the lead in The Mist. And I forgot how damn good that movie is. It is a phenomenal movie. Had a great time rewatching it, especially knowing, I mean, last time I watched that had to have been at least 10 years ago. And so knowing, like, having more of appreciation for Thomas Jane now, it made that movie that much better for me. So you have seen The Mist, right? I would imagine you have.
It's my favorite Stephen King movie. The Stand, the original Stand, is my favorite, like, miniseries. But yeah, I absolutely love The Mist. I love that it has returning. That's the great thing about Stephen King is people must really like working his movies and like his books because he always has returning people. And of course, this is Frank Darabont, who also used some of the same people in like the first couple seasons of The Walking Dead. It's got that great ending, which Stephen King even says is better than his novella. It's almost the novella. I mean, perfectly. I mean, it follows it almost exactly to a T. And if you notice that Thomas Jane is a poster artist, because in his house, right before the storm hits, he has a poster for The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing, but it doesn't say The Thing yet. And he also has a poster for The Gunslinger, The Dark Tower. So there's even little nods to other things in there. When I was in, I was looking at the Goodwill, and I did find Tom, not Thomas, but Tom.
Oh, Tom Jane, huh?
Tom Jane, and I think it's a film called something like Sander, I think it's called, or Slander. But yeah, it was Tom Jane.
How about Stander?
Is it Stander?
Yes. Did you pick it up?
I did not. No.
So on my list, one of the other movies that I watched in the last couple days was Stander, featuring, Tom Jane. So going back a little bit, he was, didn't go by Thomas. He was Tom Jane. Stander is a movie about a South African cop who kind of breaks bad and starts robbing banks, but he gives no fucks. So he would be on his lunch break as a cop. He would go rob a bank. And then when they had to go investigate the bank robbery, he would show back up and kind of intimidate the bank workers not to saying anything about him being there. And it's based on a true story. So the movie it may frustrate you because I know you're a stickler for like biopics and their accuracy. The movie is not accurate. In real life, he was divorced before this happened. A lot of people think that his life kind of spiraling in the divorce contributed to him breaking bad. But in the movie, they show him being married and him trying to get his wife to come with him as, he winds up in jail and they try to break out of jail and so he tries to get his wife involved and she doesn't want to do it. It is a phenomenal movie. It is amazing. I give it on Letterboxd. I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Okay. Great movie. If you see it again for the right price, definitely pick it up. It is one I have added to my list to buy. So,
okay, cool.
So Stander, yes. Let me address a few of the comments here. Make sure we're not missing anybody. Jamie Hill, what's up? How you doing? And yes, House of G Fam, the truth is out there, and we will find it on the ultraterrestrials. We will find the truth. Gale's in the house. What's up, Gale? How you doing? Graveyard Shift from Stephen King. There's a good one. Antonis, what's up? Looking forward to Speak No Evil. How's it, you fam? Nice. I have mixed feelings about it. I have mixed feelings about how Speak No Evil is going to be. I want it to be good, but I just don't know if it's going to. Robert C says Ben Affleck is his favorite Batman. Interesting. And James says Adam West is the best Batman, the OG.
He's also a good one.
Yes, I don't blame him at all for that. Say hi to my nephew Logan. What's up, Logan? How you doing? A Fluffy Gamer, are you not working? You hanging out with Logan? Fluffy? Decent. And let's see here. What up, OGP and peeps? Hello, John. What's up, Wicked Network?
Okay.
So so here we go. We have man, we got a doozy to dive into. And let me just say this before we dive into this. So yes, Beetlejuice this week, Speak No Evil next week, and then the next big one after that is the Joker on October 4th. And movies I've just watched that we'll review tonight or talk about more, if you guys so desire in the comments there. The Mist, Stander, and Lucky Number 11. Have you seen that, John?
I have not. No, I know of it, and I know you recommended it to me.
It was a good one. Just watched it. Highly recommend it. It was a good one. So we'll dive into that a little bit later. And then also the Vinegar Syndrome sale, I believe, is in its last day. Most of the out of prints are sold out, but there's a few left. So the sale is ending. So I think, I don't know, but today I think was the last day of announcements. And with them selling out so fast, if you're interested in, I said Severn. Or did I say Severn? I don't know. But the Vinegar Syndrome sale going on right now. They're selling out fast. So if you're interested in those, don't forget to go over to Vinegar Syndrome. And then Creep I.E. Aftermath. Speaking of which, down below, tickets are on sale now. It will sell out. Will I see you there? This weekend, if you go to their website, there are no fees, like the Ticketmaster fees or whatever. There are no fees. That sale ends tonight. So if you want to get tickets to Creep I.E. Aftermath, get them tonight to avoid fees. And with that being said, man, we have got to talk about this. And I don't know. There it is right there. The Crow, the new Crow. And we will just, John, you and I can both just talk about the fact that we saw this. Maybe we don't need to dive into really where or how we saw it, but we'll just say we saw it. And oh boy, this was tough. I do appreciate the fact that you helped me out and that I did not have to pay to see this, because
I will say this: sometimes you have to sail the high seas.
Yeah, there you go. It was tough to get through. It was very tough to get through. And I mean, it was like a minute and 42 seconds or something into the movie. I had to pause it and begin bitching. And so man, I wasn't a big fan. The whole structure of the story, I much prefer the original. And to me, this is, when it comes to the Crow, I've only seen this one, which is the original. I've seen part 4, which is Eddie Furlong, and I have seen now the new one. I've not seen part 2 or 3 or the TV show, but the original one is all you need in this franchise, in my opinion. Now, I have not seen the TV show, so John may be able to enlighten me. But we will dive into the Crow, and I'm going to warn you right now. It's been out long enough. We are going to get into spoilers here. We're not going to hold back. So if you don't, as much as I don't want anybody to leave, but if you're worried about spoilers, 1, let me tell you, don't worry about spoilers. 2, save yourselves. Don't watch this steaming pile of shit. Let John and I tell you what we thought of it, and then you can make your decisions there. But if you're worried about spoilers, I hate to break it to you, but we're going to get into them. So
I don't think anybody's going to see this because its budget is 50 million, and so far it's only made 13.7 million.
I saw that. It's
That is
amazing.
a friggin' bomb, man. That's
Yes.
worse than Borderlands, and they're both from the same studio, only released like 2 weeks apart from one another.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to get fired.
Yes. Steve Mayers, what's up, Steve Mayers? How you doing? So I don't know why they decided that they needed to make this movie. I know Hollywood loves remakes and reboots and stuff like that, but when they decided to make this movie, it would I don't care enough. I'm gonna say it would be interesting to find out what the fuck they were thinking, but I don't care enough to do the homework to see if that information is out there. Like, what were the producers thinking? What was Rupert Sanders thinking, the director? And who approved this script? And why did they pick Fucka Twigs? Why did they pick Fucka Twigs to be the lead actress when she's not an actress and she could not act to save her life? She was an abomination, and a minute and 42 seconds because of her acting, I was losing my shit, and I had to pause the movie and bitch about her. The first line she delivered was, I just knew. I was like, oh fuck, we're in trouble. Before we dive into the story, John, any thoughts, issues with the director, the cast, or anything around the movie that's not directly related to the story?
So I think I liked it better than you did. I didn't find it boring. It probably still could have been shorter. It was 100 minutes. It probably could have been 90. I do think the actress who played Shelley is not a good actress at all. I do not find her attractive.
Shelley's the girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't remember her name. No, and she's not. She is hard to look at.
No, she's just not. And I'm also tired of the Skarsgårds. They're like the fucking Baldwins. They're everywhere. They're in everything. And I am so tired. Okay, now we got the It prequel, and Skarsgård's going to be in that. And it's, I mean, I'm so tired of these guys. And he looks like an emo white trash because he has a mullet.
Yeah.
You know, like he came out of a friggin', trailer park. And I don't give a shit about drugs. I don't care if you're addicted to drugs. I don't want to see a movie where I'm supposed to be rooting for the people who are in drug rehab. Yeah. I don't care. Alcoholism is one thing. There's an issue in the brain and people become addicted. That's different than somebody who's smoking crack or shooting heroin when you don't have to do that. Nobody says, and I don't buy peer pressure. And so I have no sympathy for anybody who does drugs and then has to go to rehab. Am I supposed to feel sorry for them? No. And it's I just don't. That was a huge turnoff for me. Massive turnoff, because they didn't have to have them as drug fiends. They didn't. They could have met someplace else. And so I'll say that for this part.
Yeah. And so, okay. And I agree with you with that. I have no sympathy for a couple of junkies and getting into the story. It's like, they're in jail. They're in a room. They're here. They're there. They're partying. They're doing this, that. They do a lot of stuff for being junkies, and they go a lot of places for being junkies. But I guess his terrible hair, it definitely looked like junkie hair. Like he probably cut it himself, or somebody cut it and thought, oh, this looks good. But
God, it looked like Courtney Cox's hair from Scream 3, and that hairstylist should have been fired. I mean, that was awful. She had a mullet. God.
Yeah, no, that was the most ill-advised haircut. We should put up a poll. Who had the worst haircut, Courtney Cox or Bill Skarsgård? God, Courtney Cox is bad, man. She might win that poll, but but anyways, his hair was bad, and this is. basing the whole premise of this movie on two junkies that fall in love, and it's supposed to be your what do they say, it's like not true love, but
but like love at first sight, or
no, the undying love, or whatever that is, that allows him to like bring her back or whatever. It has to be the whatever the hell it is, but
his love has to be true. It has
like
to
true
be
love. It has to be a true
pure
love, right?
Yeah, he can never stop loving her, or if he has any doubts, it messes everything up. I thought that this was so convoluted that with its story, that I just don't care about the guy who has to sacrifice these women to have eternal life. And I'm just like, I'm not understanding this. I had to go back a few times to watch stuff when, as we know from The Crow, it was very simple. The bad guys wanted them out of the house for a real estate deal. They wouldn't leave. They died. It's very easy. Even Crow City of Angels, it was the kid witnesses a murder. So the guy has to die and his kid dies and he comes back for revenge. It's Crow Salvation. The guy's framed for murder. So he goes to the electric chair, takes revenge. Eddie Furlong with Wicked Prayer it's a whole Indian kind of like white person type of like Native American type of thing with being on the same side of the road or something.
Yeah, she wasn't allowed to be with like a white guy or something. Her tribe didn't want the interracial relationship or something.
That even got a little complicated to where I had to go back and kind of look at stuff. It's The Crow is very simple and it shouldn't be complicated. So it's all of this stuff, and they did include some stuff from the graphic novel. Like I messaged you, like the horse that's in the barbed wire is actually in the wrong place in the movie. In the comic, it's an allegory for Shelley that he couldn't save her, so he has to save the horse. The Hispanic guy that's kind of in the limbo area, that purgatory, that would actually be the skull cowboy that Michael Berryman played. That was cut from Brandon Lee's The Crow. There is some, I believe I still have a work print of the movie with him in it. So it's supposed to be him. So there are elements from the book or from the graphic novel that are in the film, but it's too long for people. I don't even know their ages. Because are they supposed to be 18, 17, or are they like in their 20s? Because they broke out of prison or juvie center or whatever it is pretty easy, and the cops never go after them.
Well, and that brings up some, and I have a million problems. I have 3 pages of notes, 3 pages of me bitching about. So, but one of my big issues with this movie was, and going back to the characters, just them as people. So, okay, he has a traumatic childhood. We see that. We don't get that in the original Crow. And okay, you're remaking this movie, so you don't want it to be the same. I get that. But yes, the way they started off with the dead horse, or with the not dead, but dying, trapped in barbed wire and stuff. Okay, him dreaming, him having these issues and stuff. But I mean, like, the kid grabs a barbed wire like he's going to rip it. I am a casual fan. And if you're targeting movie audiences, the vast majority of the people have not ever read the graphic novel, or maybe haven't seen all the sequels, or don't know that much. You are going to have those people, but most of us have not. And so I see a kid go, oh, I'm going to break this barbed wire with my bare hands, and then got bloody hands. And I'm going, this must be a dream, because this is beyond stupid. So wherever that fits into the story or the lore or the history of the franchise, it is what it is. It was just a dumb scene. And then that you get that him being traumatized because of that. It's like, okay, so he's traumatized. We're alluding to that. These things are happening. All that's okay. We're showing that he's traumatized. That's what turns him into a druggie. I don't give 2 shits. I still don't care that you had a rough childhood and you turned into a junkie. And to me, I'm not even going to get into that, but just the idea that's what led him to be a junkie is just, come on, man. It's just stupid.
Well,
but
how about go to the garage and get some wire cutters and cut the
or
horse
do-
out?
yeah,
Why are
something.
you?
Yeah.
And I did think it was a dream, but I'm almost wondering if it's like kind of like a Christ allegory, because then we see later on the scars on his hands. And of course when he takes them off the barbed wire, which would have been around Christ's head, his hands are bloody.
Yeah.
So it's like, is this some sort of allegory, like religious allegory or something like that? I didn't mind the directing. I didn't mind the editing, even though I did find the film to be confusing story wise. I really like the soundtrack.
That's interesting.
No,
one of my notes here says,
well, I like the score. I don't care about the music, like the songs, but I like the score. I thought was pretty good.
My note is the soundtrack is shit. And I thought the director was a flat out fucking moron. He did because you get a script and as a director, you're going to take the script and you're going to put your fingerprints on it if you didn't write the script. There's so many dumb fucking things that happen in this movie. So moving on past introducing to the actresses and number one. So yeah, the girl that plays Shelly, her name apparently is Fucka Twigs. She's a singer. She's not even an actress. So let's see if has she ever acted. Oh, apparently. Oh no, she done soundtrack, actress. I don't know what this shit is. Looks like a lot of music videos she's been in, but she is a weird individual and she is not easy on the eyes at all. And so when she delivered,
but if you look at the Joker 2, when that comes out from the trailers, you could see why Joaquin Phoenix, who's not a good looking guy, when he sees Lady Gaga in that room, I'd be like, I want to meet her because Lady Gaga's hot.
So I disagreed. Lady Gaga is,
without the makeup and everything, I think she is gorgeous. Like in A Star Is Born. Oh my God, she's amazing.
Well, yeah, I Lady Gaga's music is fine and stuff, but I think going. I mean, you're taking that, and we're on a different movie now, but you're taking that role and you're going from what's her name? Who was the girl that had it before that did Barbie and stuff? And then you go to Lady Gaga, you're talking about downgrading 3 or 4 points, in level of hotness.
Oh, Margot Robbie.
Thank you. Yeah. But I get it for who he is and everything. Seeing her. Yeah. She's attractive. You go to her, but
she's a 10 looking at him. He's like a 4. So,
but I mean, he's a guy and he's the Joker. He's, the idea is,
but they do have like a little bit of a comparison though.
Yeah, but Batman is supposed to be the handsome, good-looking, has-it-all guy. Joker's supposed to be, the ugly, guy that's, face is deformed and crap going on and stuff.
Heath Ledger was a good-looking guy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. But here's the problem. So we meet Eric. And he's having issues. He's a drug addict. He's in this jail thing, whatever it is. He's like a loner, doesn't want to talk to anybody, just sitting there at the table. Woe is me. My life is rough. I need another fix or whatever. And then all of a sudden, yes, Fucka Twigs walks up, sits down across the table from him and starts talking to him. And it's like all of a sudden, oh, I'm in love. I'm going to start talking to you. We need to meet. We need to do things. And it's like, what happened, dude? Your life wasn't shit. You weren't addicted to drugs. You're just a horny bastard and you weren't getting laid. And now you're smelling pussy and you're thinking, hey, here we go. I got a chance. Life is, sunshine and rainbows again. And we're getting all happy. I thought he came out of his misery and darkness way too quick just for her showing up. And then, we'll have to meet again and stuff. And That was the hokiest fucking scene. And to watch them sit down and have like 5 lines of dialogue and fall in love with each other instantly was just beyond cheesy. I don't know what they could have done to make that better, but that was just the stupidest fucking scene. Them just, oh, there you are, the love of my life. I didn't know. Too bad. You look like a I don't even, I don't want to get people calling me racist for saying something.
She's just not a very attractive person. I mean, maybe outside the film and they had makeup on her or something. I don't know. I've never seen her before.
Oh, she's got a skullet. She shaves her head bald, but has like hair in the back. She's got a fucking skullet in real life. She's a fucking weirdo.
A skullet.
A skullet, yeah. Like
that's funny.
Bald skull with the mullet in the back.
Yeah. You got to. She has to be an amazing actress. He has to be an amazing actor, and they have to have some amazing scenes because it's 40 minutes, and then that's when they. It takes roughly about 30 minutes for all that to happen. Yeah. And for me, I'm still not seeing it. I mean, with The Crow, the original, we see them in flashbacks laughing and having a good time, and he's playing his guitar, and we see that they're in love, and and in the other films you get like the dad with his son and he's playing with his kid, and then the guy in Salvation's hanging with his girlfriend, and you never see the beginning of a relationship because that would be tough unless they're amazing.
And the thing is, I love getting the origin stories and the backstories. And that's kind of one of the reasons I appreciate like Rob Zombie's Halloween movie, is because we get more of young Michael Myers. And I like that. The idea of them forging this relationship in the movie is fine, but if they were junkies before and they wound up in jail and then they got to jail, which I have another major fucking problem with this. But if their relationship brought them together in jail, but they already knew and had a relationship before, that would be fine. But just starting this relationship and being soulmates and true love and all this stuff, you can't, like, they're junkies. Their love is with the needle in their next fix, not some other person with these issues, So, and we know junkies would shit on each other in a heartbeat to get their next fix. So I don't buy the whole true love from junkies. And I mean, it's evident, that what's the episode of Breaking Bad where those people steal the money and Jesse goes back to get it. And that safe ends up falling and crushing the dude's head. Junkies will shit on each other in a minute. So the fact that two junkies are going to be soulmates is mind-boggling. But here's a big problem. This is what the flying fuck. Number one, when was this movie supposed to take place? Because in his little apartment, he's got the old ass tube TV. And what else did he have? He had something else in that apartment that made it look like very old. Like, was this going to be the 90s or is this the 2000s? Because we got cell phones and we're getting pictures and watching videos. When is this taking place?
I don't think that it has an actual date because The Crow doesn't. The original Crow doesn't even have a city. And City of Angels looks like it could take place in the year 3000.
Okay.
It doesn't, but it looks like it's almost like a post-apocalyptic type of film. I think like Salvation and Wicked Prayer are present day, but I don't think the remake of The Crow is supposed to be. I don't think it really has a date on it.
Okay. So and that's fine. If that's the way it's going to be, then at the beginning, we should have got maybe either some exposition or something kind of alluding to when this was taking place or why the world would, or it is The Crow and that's what we're supposed to believe. That's fine. But my other problem with that is not knowing when this is taking place. And as going in as a casual fan, I'm looking at this as somebody who's not an expert on The Crow. Going in as a casual fan, I'm going to say, why the fuck are men and women in jail together? Where does that happen? Absolutely nowhere. Does it happen in rehab facilities? No. Does it happen in halfway houses? No. Does it happen in jails or prisons? No. So why in The Crow are men and women in jail together?
So that's why one, that's a really nice facility that they were in. I'm like, fuck, if I went to, if I'm in jail, I wish I went there because it's really nice
Right?
and fancy.
Yeah.
But they aren't. And so I'll say this. I have been in jail. And how it was separated is it was basically like a pie, like a cut pie. And each slice was a different thing. So one slice would be the corrupt cops. The other slice would be people like me who were like small time crime. And then there'd be the gay population. Then there'd be the women's population. So each piece is a different thing, and you don't interact with those people. Even when you go to the yard, you're not interacting with them. But I did happen to interact like with some of the corrupt cops. I did interact with there were people who did not do good things with kids. They were out there in the yard with us. But not the gays weren't, the women weren't. So and he does make Eric does make a comment that they don't like the women sitting with the guys, and she doesn't seem to care.
They shouldn't be even like. Every prison or jail I've ever seen out here there is the women's prison. There is the men's prison. They're next to each other, and there are never any interactions. There's not. So the idea that we're putting men and women in jail together, and that's where, like DG says, haven't seen it, but it's told it was like this generation's woke version of The Crow. In complete fairness, there might have been a. I don't see woke.
I don't see woke. No, I just see bad storytelling.
There's a couple things like, if you want to dive and go, what is woke about this? Well, woke is picking an ugly ass woman to be the lead. And woke is making men and women together. And woke is justifying and feeling bad for druggies. So you could argue that, but I'm not going to argue that. It did not. And believe me, I will fucking lose my shit at woke movies. Evil Dead Rise, man. I was literally walked out angry out of the theater because of how fucking woke that nonsense was. But this, I didn't get that at all. I didn't. Yeah, no. You should have seen Matt and I walking out of the theater, fucking screaming, pissed off after.
I liked Evil Dead Rise, so I didn't see the wokeness in Evil Dead Rise. So it was.
You gotta watch my video.
But I understand what it is, because like the daughter was a protester and and all that type of stuff. So I kind of get that. But I don't think that there was really any wokeness in this, and I don't think hiring a black woman. I think she is. She might be
something,
kind of maybe a mix Spanish.
She's definitely not white.
No.
Whatever she is,
but which is fine. I mean, I've dated black women, so it doesn't. Yeah, but it's just not a good. It's not a good story, and it's see, like if they started the movie, he's a misfit, he's an outcast, he hears music, he likes music. You have a singer. Use her as a singer. They do that with Lady Gaga. So have him go into a bar and she's performing. And he's like, what the fuck? This is awesome. I love this music. Who is this? And he's watching her and watching her and watching her. And then eventually for whatever reasons, they meet up, and he already knows about her. He already has this thing about her. But just to see her like he does in these dumb, I don't know, therapy sessions, just don't make any sense to me. I did like the progression that they had him go through, that he escapes and he's in almost his Michael Myers attire, and he's in that kind of that the mechanic suit almost, like a jumpsuit, and then from there he gets the overcoat, and then from the overcoat and he gets the makeup, and then so I think that I like the progression up to the opera.
Well, and there are a few things that are interesting about this movie, and there are some things. Logan, what's up, Logan? How you doing? once the the makeup and stuff got there, like he looked better, but still I would have preferred that he had long hair like the original Crow and stuff. But it is what it is. But so in the movie now, am I wrong? But I don't remember in the first Crow movie, and I don't know the books, I don't know the other movies. I just am going like, I've seen the original Crow and I'm watching this. Is there a reason we have a old guy who has magical powers and is able to kill or to tell the friend to like kill herself or whatever when he whispers in her ear and then she goes and like kills herself or whatever? Remember it's Danny Houston's character who played Vincent. He at the beginning of this movie, the friend that sent Shelley the video, and so now Shelley saw this video of the murder happening or whatever. That friend was Marion, the blonde girl.
Right.
Danny Houston whispers in her ear, and then she goes and kills herself. I don't remember anybody else in the original Crow having like other magical powers or anything. Am I off base with that? Is there a reason for that?
It could be from one of the graphic novels because there's a ton of them. So they might have taken it from that because the Crow himself is magical. Yeah. So maybe it's from something else, but no, it's not in the original film. Remember, it's Michael Wincott. He has really long hair. He's got that really gruff voice, and he's just a bad guy. He's just like he's a gangster.
Yeah,
and that's it.
And that's what I thought with this one. They shouldn't have added that special superpower to him or magic that he had to make this girl go kill herself. They should have just killed her. Or he should have just killed her or something. Would have been so much better. I don't understand or why we got that or needed it. I thought the idea of the Crow, what makes it interesting to me is that this guy dies and his love for the woman that was killed doesn't let him rest. And so he comes back as the Crow because of love. Where does anybody else having fucking supernatural powers come into that? So I didn't like that. And if they were gonna do that, we should have got more backstory on that dude or why or how he had the ability to make this girl just go kill herself. So I didn't care for that at all in this. I didn't understand it. I thought it was a dumb way to kill that first girl.
Well, yeah, because it's like in Crow Salvation, the third one, which I think is the best sequel. It's interesting is that he gets fried, so he goes to the electric chair, and of course he's framed, so he comes back, but his entire face is roasted. And the wrong thing with that is that they put him in the chair with hair. They always shave because the electricity will catch the hair on fire. So that's a huge flaw in it, but whatever. When he looks at himself in the mirror and his skin is all burnt, he starts pulling the skin off and his fingers scar him. So it's not makeup. It's scars on his face. So when he's pulling it off and putting it down, there's no makeup, which I really liked. And then in the TV show, it's almost like the Hulk is, because it's a show, he obviously can't leave in the first episode, like he can't find the killers and then he rests. But it's kind of a combination of the original movie and City of Angels. He falls through a portal. It's weird. He doesn't come out of the grave. He comes through this portal and drops down on the Day of the Dead people as they're partying. But his thing is, it's also not makeup. He's like the Hulk. He looks normal as he's walking around helping the police, trying to investigate these crimes, trying to make them right. And then when he gets angry, his face changes and brings on that appearance of the Crow.
Okay.
So he'll be chasing somebody down an alleyway and beating the fuck out of them and stuff. And then the next thing, like if they see him later, they're like, "You're not the same guy."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, I am." They're like, "No, you had makeup on and stuff. Did you just wash it off?"
Yeah.
And it really is kind of like the Hulk in a way, like that TV show, The Incredible Hulk. So they have tried to do different things. And in the TV show, there is a female crow. That's the one that I still need to watch that one. I've watched 4 episodes of the show, the first 4 episodes. Episode 15 is the female crow, which there is a graphic novel of. And I've been saying for 20 years, I would love to see a female crow. If we have all these guys, why not have a female crow? But now I don't want it because of wokeness, because of DEI, because of all this stuff. It would bomb because with the way that they do stuff today, it would just look like identity politics. Yeah. So, you know.
Well, we'll see what happens. I can't imagine there's going to be a sequel to this anytime soon. No. And so my next, well, I have some other notes, but I mean, I don't want to dive into everything and spend all night diving in every little detail here. But so we get to the point now where we have the 2 tweakers have fallen in love, and he's off doing whatever he's doing, and he's going to go back and see her hunky dory, coming home to my love, and we're going to get our fuck on or whatever we're going to do. And he walks in the door, and here she is screaming because the bad guys are there, and now they're going to get killed. And we come to, and I proclaim this as the worst kill scene in the history of all movies. This is the dumbest, stupidest. I mean, I don't have words for how moronic this kill is. And it frustrates the absolute living shit out of me. Who the fuck decided to kill this ugly broad with this fucking bag over her face? And those are her fingers. Why is she not ripping a hole in that fucking bag so she can breathe? Why is she just sitting there dying, grabbing at something on her neck? Grab the fucking bag out of your mouth, woman. Take the fucking bag out of your mouth. Rip it. Your fingers are right. You don't even have to move your hand. That like index finger, that middle finger is long enough. Poke the fucking hole in that bag. But no, this broad just decides to sit there and die. We have seen in many, many, many movies, people get killed with bags over their heads. And why? Because their hands are usually tied behind their back or they're restrained. They can't get the bag off their head. I watched another movie. And in fact, lucky number 11, there's 2 dudes with bags on their heads. I'm not going to spoil and tell you who, but their fucking hands are tied so they can't rip them open. This broad, all she has to do is poke a hole. And you know what that bag looks like? It looks like one of those bags that you get at the grocery store and you put produce in. Like, so it's probably as thin as a slice of paper, and you could just poke a little hole in that. You're breathing. And now maybe at that point, then they would restrain her hands, do it again.
Well, that's what they needed, is for her hands to go up and start doing this. And then somebody else comes up, like the blonde chick who's just sitting there, and they're pulling the hands away while the other guy's using 2 hands to use to pull the plastic bag as tight as they can. And thank you, Wicked Network. And so it's it doesn't. I mean, the director, the hatred that this film is getting, the director has now done the sin of what all these people are doing, like for the Acolyte and for some of these others, is he's criticizing the fans. He's calling us idiots.
Yeah. No, and when you do dumb fucking shit like this, when you do dumb fucking shit like this, we have a reason to hate this fucking movie. We and you casted a girl who, you know what, in real life, in person, she might be a lovely person. She's not a looker. And we're just being brutally honest. You put yourself out in the entertainment industry, you are subject to criticism. I'm not just going to criticize any woman walking down the street minding her own business, but you want to be a superstar. You want to be in the Crow. You are up for criticism. So she is not a looker. She can't fucking act at all. She's horrible throughout the movie. She makes Melissa Barrera's performance in Scream 5 look Oscar worthy. She is fucking horrible. And Melissa Barrera was dog shit in 5. She was a little better in 6. Still questionable suspect in Abigail. But she's not a great actress.
She's not a great actress.
No. But this right here was terrible. And I don't know if any of that music that was playing in the soundtrack was hers. It was like they had a heavy female singer throughout the movie and the soundtrack. So I'm guessing maybe some of that movie music was hers. And I'm wondering, was she put here just to promote her music? And I'm wondering, her record label, are they in cahoots with the movie company or what? Is there some type of deal done, like, oh, we could save some fucking money, we'll just put this broad in it since we're paying her anyways or something? I don't know, but as a director, to allow a scene like this and to allow such a horrible actress, you need to do a better job, sir. You need to do a better job. That was terrible. Just terrible. I can't believe. Oh, and then you'll appreciate this, John. She fucking dies with her eyes closed. And then the very next fucking shot, her eyes are wide open. So what? Your fucking eyes just, oh, I'm dead. Muscles start going. No, you're fucking dead. Your muscles all tense up and contract. You either shrivel up or you stay exactly the fucking way you are. So they fucked up. And not only that, but okay, I have a criticism of the first Crow, and I'm going to explain this really quickly before this makes sense. I criticize Brandon Lee's acting in the first Crow, and it could have been the director, could have been Brandon Lee. I don't know. There's a shot where you see different angles going back and forth of Brandon Lee. One angle, he's kind of got a smirk on his face. Next angle, very sad. Next angle, smirk. Next angle, very sad. And it wasn't like, it was all supposed to be one emotion for that scene. So they fucked up and either shot it in different days, or unfortunately, because of Brandon Lee's passing, they had to use whatever they had. And so they edited together the best they could. This fucking broad is still alive. She is still alive. So at scenes when she's like, her emotions are changing from angle to angle, shame on his fucking director for allowing that crap to happen, because that should never happen. You need them to learn their fucking emotion of the scene and go through it and maintain that emotion throughout. And this broad could not do that. And it's evident throughout the film. If you go back, I don't recommend it, but if you go back and rewatch, you will notice it now.
No, I don't want to. It does say here, it does say possible sequel. According to Skarsgård, the original ending was changed by the filmmakers to invoke the possibility of a sequel, much to his reservations. So he has actually been very vocal about him not liking the ending because they changed it. And then, of course, the original director, Alex Proyas, refused to see the reboot out of respect for Brandon Lee's legacy. So Ernie Hudson has expressed mixed feelings. So it's nobody is liking this. I'm trying to find if there's like music listed, but
yeah, I wouldn't stress too hard on it. So here, so they die. Remember in the original Crow, when he dies, right? If I remember right, he's like not realizing he's dead, right? Well, in this one, right off the fucking bat, that guy Roman, right? Was it Roman that come? Or no, it was Wickham. Wickham comes in and fucking tells him right off the bat, like, just so you know, you're dead. Or no, he doesn't even say that. The Crow's like, I'm dead, right? And he's like, yeah, you're dead. I mean, I took all the fucking anticipation of him going and getting shot and going like, why the fuck am I not dying? Like, how are they just gonna fucking take the opportunity they had to go fucking have him get shot and think he should be dying but not die, and by just having fucking this guy show up and go like, oh yeah, you're not dead. Oh yeah, you're good. But what the fuck was that? How do they jump right into that right after he dies without provocation? I mean, it was just it's like, oh, he's dreaming or he's having these visions, whatever it is, of this guy Wickham right after he got killed, that just explain basically the whole fucking story.
I mean, I mean, I guess that you could look at any of the Crow movies in the same way and be like, how do they know what their abilities are, you know, without being trained?
But going back to the first, and we know in general the sequels are all pretty much regarded as being bad. They're not the greatest sequels. But going back to the first movie, which people consider a classic, a legendary film, he dies. He has to go figure out, like, get shot and everything and figure this stuff out.
Kind of. I mean, he pulls himself out of the grave. He goes down an alleyway. He grabs some shoes.
Well, that's right. He comes out of the grave.
He goes up to the apartment. The crow is flying around him. And he grabs onto the circle window that's busted. And when he grabs it, he throws himself up and then comes back into the window again. And he's had no training in this at all.
Yeah.
So it's the thing that I'll give these guys credit for is, at least when Skarsgård is hit, he's injured. Like, he has to push his intestines back in.
Yes. No. That was great. That was great. Yes. But that's when he should have realized that if you're not going to put him in a grave, because we did not put him in a grave in this time. We just, he went to fucking La La Land, chatted with Wickham for a while, and then poof, was back awake. We did not ever get into a grave with this. So immediately after he dies, we go to the scene with Wickham where it's basically like, you're not dead, or you're dead, but you're going to come back and, and whatever. They had the greatest opportunity ever to explain, through the story of him realizing his power or what he was capable of now, or what his mission was, without Wickham just fucking putting it out there for him. And that's my frustration. And I agree with you afterwards. Seeing him put his guts back in was cool. That was a cool fucking shot. And they were good with the idea that it was very painful. When he got hurt, it hurt him. He was in a lot of pain. So, they did good with some of that stuff, but I just hated Wickham showing up right away and explaining what was going on.
I mean, that's pretty much the Skull Cowboy does. I mean, he pulls himself out of the grave, and then he meets up with the Skull Cowboy, who teaches him what's going on. He tells him what's happening. But I don't think that there's really any big training or anything like that.
No, I'm not expecting training. I'm just like, what should have happened is he should have got killed, and he should have had to realize, you're not going to put him in a grave. He's not digging himself out or whatever. You should have made him realize, fuck, I'm dead. I'm fucking dead. Have the epiphany. I'm dead. Not just some dude, sitting there and you going like, oh yeah, we're dead, right? Like it should have been more. They had the greatest opportunity to do that, and they just well, we don't want to tell that story, so we just have this guy fucking say it. That bugged me. Him afterwards, every time he got shot or got hurt or whatever, yeah, it was very painful for him up until the opera. At the opera, yeah, he's got a fucking sword stuck through him. I like the way the whole shooting through himself to kill the other guy, creative stuff. The fight at the end there at the opera, okay, I'm on board with that, but just putting it on a platter with this guy, and I don't want to beat a dead horse. Pun, because we already had a dead horse in this movie.
I guess it didn't bother me probably as much as it did with you, because watching all the Crow movies back to back, and then watching some of the TV show, and even in like the TV show, they give an excuse, and in the first 2 episodes are combined to make an 80-minute movie. And it can be its own film, actually, because he finds the killers, he rights the wrong. And then in episode 3, the little girl who plays Sarah, the girl that's supposed to be on like the skateboard, she goes, "Oh, I've been reading about crows and death. So you can't go back to the grave until you help all of these people."
Yeah.
So now so it's like, oh, okay, so that's a nice little convenience there, a nice little segue to continue the show. So now he has to help all these different people, the woman who was killed by her husband, but or the guy that was killed in a car or whatever it might be. So, and the crows immediately know how to do everything. Yeah. So it's that's the one thing that I will give. Like Eli Roth did a remake of Death Wish, and James Wan did it's the second book in the Death Wish series, but it's called Death Sentence with Kevin Bacon. In both those films, and even though it's Bruce Willis and Kevin Bacon, they have no idea how to use a gun. Yeah. So when they go out for revenge, they have to learn how to use a gun. Yeah. Like, and you see them like trying to take it apart, put it back together. It falls apart. You know, they're at the shooting range before all this other stuff happens. Yeah. And the Crow movies, you don't get that. Once he's the Crow and puts on that makeup, he's the Crow. Yeah.
Well, I think, but part of that, and Fonzo 13 is like the biggest Crow fan I know. Well, him and another dude, but I don't know the other dude's name, but the other dude always shows up, and you'll probably see this other dude at Creep I.E Aftermath, and he will be dressed up as the Crow, because this dude goes everywhere as the Crow. So but Fonzo and that dude, probably the 2 biggest Crow fans that I know. So what's up, Fonzo? Hopefully you're enjoying my pain with me. And he says, yeah, not my Crow. Yeah, not my Crow either. Yes. But so here's my reason and or justification for that is, okay, once they're dead and they start like right off the bat, we see Eric have to push his guts in, and he gets shot, and we see the bullet wound in his back healing and stuff. I think a lot of, because he doesn't ever really become, throughout watching this movie toward the end, I don't ever look at him as like some really badass martial arts guy. What I see is, now there's a guy who knows that he can't be killed, so he's fighting fearlessly rather than technically. So I think the idea that him knowing you can't be killed, I think he just loses his kind of reservations or his fighting inhibitions. He does get obviously better, with the swords and the fighting and stuff. So if that's just part of becoming the Crow, then that's what it is. But I think, and all the other, you can take the other Crow movies and TV shows or set them aside. To me, good storytelling is good storytelling. And when you have an opportunity to say, okay, I'm going to lead the audience to figure out what's going on through telling the story, I think that's so much better than bullshit exposition explaining what's happening. And to me, and I didn't mind in general that character, and I'm pretty sure it was Wickham, the guy who showed up in his like visions or dreams or whatever. But I feel like they just explained something that they had an opportunity to show us in the story. And whether that's good or bad in the first, the second, third, fourth Crows or the TV show or whatever, it is what it is. But
his name is Kronos.
Kronos? Okay. So who's
like
I'm
Crow?
just looking. The guy
Kronos.
that shows up?
Yeah.
Okay.
A spirit that guides Eric on his mission. And then Danny Hudson is Vincent Rogue.
Okay. And so, but on IMDb, they have him listed as, oh no, was Kronos the guy that showed up? It looks like
Kronos is the Hispanic guy with the beard that's in like purgatory.
Oh, I thought that was
him into the water.
Okay, let me pull this up real quick. I thought that was this dude. Right here. That's not him. That's not the one that he was talking to and stuff. That looks that's what I'm going off of IMDb. The other one, well, and let me let me pull up this dude's pictures and see, because it should have pictures of him with the beard and this stuff.
No, the picture that I'm looking at on Wikipedia, when I click on his name, yeah, he's older, he has gray hair, doesn't have a beard.
Yeah,
he's a Tuscan French actor.
Okay, because this is Kronos. This is the guy that plays Kronos in the movie. So I think the other one is the dude that showed up. Maybe he is. I don't fucking know. But anyways, whoever he talks to, when he's having the visions and stuff, whoever that guy is, I just didn't care for the way they explained it. They should have led the audience there. It would have been so much better storytelling. You use exposition when you don't have time, money, or budget to do things, and I didn't like it.
I tend to think that maybe too much explanation is kind of a bad thing.
Well, yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. When he, as soon as Eric dies, and you're getting the explanation that, from this other guy, that you're dead and you're the crow and all that, I would have rather they led us there a little bit better. I thought, irregardless, yes, of how the other movies go, or the books or anything, forget all that stuff. Good storytelling leads the audience to understand, doesn't tell the audience. So I thought they were telling us, and that bugged me.
Well, that's because the story's I think it's too convoluted. If you just would have left it as a simple thing, boy meets girl, they get murdered, he comes back to take revenge, then you can have all that stuff. Yeah. And I think that's probably one of the problems, I think, with the TV show, is that they have to give excuses to why he doesn't go back to the grave. And now it's just, oh, look what I found, this plot convenience. Oh, now you can't leave there. The example that I give is, and this was a book when I was at Barnes and Noble that I found, is it was a comparison book. So there's that movie Outbreak with Dustin Hoffman that has the little monkey in it. And if you watch that movie and then look at everything that's wrong with it, which is basically 99% of the film scientifically is wrong. Scientists, there's a ton of videos saying what is wrong with Outbreak. Like, everything in that movie is wrong because they give so much explanation that it ends up being wrong. Now, the film that they compared it to is the Bela Lugosi film Devil Bat from the 40s, where he basically takes a little bat, he puts it into a machine, he throws a switch, electricity comes in, camera cuts away, we look at Bela Lugosi, camera cuts back, it's a giant bat, it's huge. And then he releases it and it kills the people who stole all this money from him. There is no explanation of this bat growing and how it could kill people and stuff like that. Like he invents a cologne that they steal from him, and that's what he uses. The bat smells it and it goes and kills the people with the cologne. But that bat is completely logical because there is no explanation. There's not.
Yeah. Well, so and that's, I mean, like there's a lot of fun videos like about the movie The Martian, where you see scientists and astronauts and stuff talking about everything that's wrong with The Martian, and those are fun to watch. Now, to me, I'm watching a movie. Especially the fact that we don't know when this takes place. We don't know where this takes place. It's all a fantasy fictional land. They can break rules and stuff. But if you're going to break rules of physics and laws and do things differently, you need to either explain them, set forth this is what it is. This is how this film is going to operate. And you need to stick with that. You can't change, you can't deviate it. And, going back to like there being the TV, and it was not just TV, but he had the pictures, like printed pictures in his hand. Who I mean, us old people have pictures, but like young people have phones. Who the fuck has printed pictures anymore? So that's where I go like, okay, they're are they in modern day? Are they in the 90s? But if they're in just some fictional time or land, some, you know, post-apocalyptic, maybe it's not even Earth, maybe it's just wherever it is, up for the viewer to decide. That's fine. But if you're going to do that, you got to stick with it, and the things should all make sense, or you should explain somehow or another why these things are going to make sense, but without explaining it. And one of the biggest things, and these are not good comparisons, but to me they're good examples, is if you've ever watched a newer, not the old original ones, but like a newer Disney children's movie, not like Marvel or whatever. But at the beginning of the movie, they go around and each character, hi, I'm Goofy and I do this. Hi, I'm Mickey and I do this. And they fucking explain every single character, who they are and everything, because little kids don't get it. But we're a mature audience, and we're supposed to be able to watch this movie and figure these things out like you're reading a book. You're getting a story, and in the book, they don't tell you, you know, you have to read the book to find out why things happen and stuff. So for filmmakers to put that on a platter is frustrating. But I'm really banging on one element of this movie when so much of it fucking sucked.
Yeah, I that type of stuff doesn't bother me, because once again, when there's too much of it, I mean, look who ruined Michael Myers. It wasn't Rob Zombie, it was John Carpenter. You know, with Halloween 2, he made Michael Myers his sister, and then he made a mythology behind it. And then it's just like, no, we didn't like knowing what Michael Myers was. We just knew that he was the boogeyman. We didn't need any explanation whatsoever. Then Sam Hain came into it, and then all this fucking shit. And then the freaking, you know, it's just like, we don't need all this explanation. Yeah. So
I'm not saying verbal explanation. I'm saying show it through the story. But my issue is that guy that Eric saw in his dream, they had a conversation and Eric figured out that he was dead before he even woke up from being dead. He knew he was dead. I just wanted to see Eric be dead and not realize it for a while. I think that would have been more compelling. That's all I'm saying. I agree with you. The less we know, sometimes the better. Yes, the mystery is always, you know, that's why it's dark things are scary, because we don't know what's hiding in the dark. So we don't want to see. And I agree with you. You're 100% correct about with Michael Myers and stuff. That is 100%. And I'm with you. I didn't want them to explain it to us. I would rather they kind of let us and made the audience, you know, showed the audience, you know, let us figure it out. But anyways, I think we should move on and actually talk about, because there, as much as I hate to admit it, there are a few, unless I mean, I don't want to give you not give you an opportunity to respond to that, but I think we need to talk about, in fairness, some of the very few things that they did good with this movie.
Sure. I mean, I've named a few of them. So what are yours?
I think so. Now, I wasn't the biggest fan of the opera, the end, the killing, all that big fight scene with the opera. It was okay. You know, it kind of flowed with the music and stuff, and it had a great feel. I thought that was okay. Some of the killing in it was really good. There was, and here I am. I'm trying to talk about the good things, and I'm gonna fucking bash it again. So there's a guy who gets stabbed with a sword, and he goes like, I'm dead. No, like there was no or anything. He just chink sword in him, and he just no facial expression at all. So I thought, I was like, why did this actor not react? But I thought a lot of the kills in there, him coming out with the heads, a lot of that stuff was pretty
that stuff
cool.
Was great. Yeah, that was.
And even earlier, before they got to the opera, some of the kills were good too. So there was a good amount of violence. There was a good amount of gore. The blood was good. And even the way, you know, his eyes turned black and then the makeup stuff kind of came out to make him look like the Crow. I thought that was kind of cool. So I mean, there were some, but I can't really say much else good aside from the kills, a little bit of the fighting, and the way I like the way the eyes turned black and the makeup came out.
Huh. Okay.
So, but
yeah, I think I liked it a lot more than you did. So
yeah.
I don't know if I found it for maybe like $2-3 used on Blu-ray, maybe I'd pick it up to add to the collection because I'm a completist.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There are still movies that I refuse to put in my collection that are sequels or remakes or whatever.
Jeepers Creepers 4.
I do own Jeepers Creepers Reborn.
I kid because I know you have it. Yeah. No. So I only own. I actually had a DVD of The Crow, and then I recently got this steelbook, and so I've put the DVD of The Crow in the reserve bin out in the garage, and so that's the only one I own. I don't have any of the sequels or, oh no, I take it back. You know what? I might have part 4. Let me see. No, I don't. I think it must be something else.
Part 4 to me is one of the worst things I've ever seen. I actually dislike it more than the remake.
Oh, then this one?
Yeah, I thought Wicked Prayer was too long.
I'll give you that. It
felt like a Sci-Fi Channel movie. There's no blood in it. I don't give a crap about the mines and a native casino and what side of the street you're on.
Yeah.
I just want the Crow to go take revenge. Yeah. And that which kind of falls with the new movie too. I don't care about all this whispering, and I don't care about any of that type of stuff. And Crow Wicked Prayer, it looks like the actors are having a fun time.
Yeah.
But I've worked with one of them, Tara Reid, I worked with, and I enjoyed working with her. So I like who's in it. I think Edward Furlong is fine. I did mention to you that I thought he looked like Rosie O'Donnell, but just kind of a drag. But it's another one of those cases where, they stick him in a refrigerator. He comes out and immediately puts on the trench coat and does the makeup and just starts fighting everybody. And it's just like, my God, this is boring as hell. I was so bored during it. And the remake, I wasn't bored. It's not a good movie, but I wasn't bored.
I'll give you that too. When it got to the point where they got killed, which was around 40 minutes in, right?
Yeah.
35, 40 minutes, somewhere in there. And, but at that point I was like, okay, wow, I'm already 35, 40 minutes in. As much as I didn't care for the story and I don't care about the characters at all, I thought the pacing was there. It was long, but I didn't, at no point did I go like, fuck, like, let's move on already. So I give them, in addition to the fighting and the kills, I'll give them pacing too. They did, I think, a good job with the pacing in this film.
Yeah. And to go off of House of G Fam, I know who Edward R. Pressman is. Yeah, he's done a ton of movies. And he did. His name is on, I think, all the Crow films. So it's along with a lot of other stuff too that he's produced. And Mr. Bones says that he loves Crow Salvation, which I think is the best sequel. So the way that the Crow looks, I like that his overcoat almost looks like Candyman's overcoat, where it's this thicker coat and it's kind of got like a fur piece around it. And I like how he looks as the Crow, and Salvation looks more like it's shot more like the original Crow. Where Crow 2, like I said, looks like a nuclear, like it's after the nuclear apocalypse.
Yeah.
I don't know what year this is. I don't know what city we're in. I don't know why it looks this shitty compared to the original, which you could take maybe as LA or maybe Chicago or Detroit. This, I have no idea. Part 2 got all fucked up by Harvey Weinstein. They finished the movie. It's Bill Pope, who's a video director. He gave him something totally different. They said, make a Crow movie that's not like the Brandon Lee Crow. And then Harvey took it and completely re-edited the movie. And Bill Pope won't discuss it. It's a clone of The Crow.
Yeah.
And so I would love to see a director's cut of that, but it probably doesn't exist. But unless it's, and I brought these for a different video, but when you do stuff like this, right, where all of these were done for rights issues. So you have like the Hellraiser films, the Prophecy movies, Children of the Corn. All of this stuff is Miramax. So every 10 years, you would get a new movie so they could retain the rights. So I understand, and I've actually surprisingly enjoyed a lot of those. If this is that, because this is also Weinstein, I get it. But if it's not, and they're making these because they want to make sequels, then they made shit.
Yeah.
Including the ones that I've liked. And if the new Crow was done to retain rights, I would respect that more than what they gave us, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it really does. And I that's an interesting topic there. I do want to, Buckaroo Brothers said there was 10 to 15 people in the audience. By the time it was over, I was the last one. That's amazing. People walked out. That's phenomenal. It's bad if people walk out. But so with the Crow, as opposed to some other franchises like Batman needs to be Batman. It needs to be Wayne. And that's it. Bruce Wayne, that is Batman. But now with the Crow, and like to your point of wanting a female Crow, it could be anybody that is killed and and their true love brings them back to either save their girlfriend, their wife, whatever, or significant other, or avenge them, so that you can go rest in peace. So you could bring anybody in. So the idea that Crow movies could take place in different places, they could take place in different times. All that stuff is up for grabs. But man, you got to have a good story. And
I mean, Rob Zombie was going to be making for a long time. The Crow, I think it's called like 2049. So his was going to be science fiction. Yeah. And then I think it might be the TV show, or maybe it's Salvation. I don't remember. But the Crows that we see are not the only, you just brought it up too, aren't the only ones. That's what I liked about the new Candyman movie so much, is there are many Candymans. This, just like Tony Todd was the first. But after that, because that was like the 50s, then there was like one in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, and they just kind of kept popping up whenever there was some sort of injustice. And so the newest movie is the newest Candyman. And so they could do that with The Crow, that Edward Furlong and all of them are just one of many crows that are out there.
Yeah. And if that's the case, if that's the way we're supposed to take it, I wish they would have advertised this more, because it would be sometimes it would be an easier pill to swallow, and maybe don't name him Eric. Give this new Crow a different name.
I've always had a problem with that, out of respect for Brandon Lee. I cried the day Brandon Lee died. I was such a massive fan of his, being a fan of also Bruce Lee. And I just kept watching. I saw every film this guy did in the theater. I even saw his TV stuff like Laser Mission. And I was really hoping this guy would just skyrocket.
And it seemed like he was going to, if he wasn't killed. It seemed like he was going to. Yeah. Look at this. Mr. Bones says, I have all of those sets, the ones you were holding up, John. Rest in peace, Kmart. Yes. No, back in the day, going and getting DVDs, Kmart, Walmart, Target, any of those places. Pretty soon, it's going to be rest in peace to, movies at them all. But yes, in general, I have a nice pair of binoculars.
Walmart anymore. Nothing. Yeah, and all their stuff at Walmart is really expensive if you want to buy it.
Yeah.
Like their steel books and brand new movies are all like $30. Like how are you expecting to make any money off this? They have no Funko Pops. They have nothing.
Daniel is putting a dagger in my fucking chest right now, saying, I see the original. The original. Okay, I'm good. I thought, I read that wrong. I thought you were saying you saw the new Crow as a Punisher. Okay, well, and it's kind of like that in a sense, where he's just out for vengeance and out to fuck everybody up. A little bit different in that the Punisher isn't dead and stuff. But I think if you like Punisher movies, you would definitely like the Crow. I think that's a good solid comparison. And Fall Rain.
It's vamp time.
It's fucking vamp time, Fall Rain. It is. It's vamp time. And sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but there was some comments there. I was like, "Ooh, I gotta get to this."
You have to do vamp time. So
yes,
especially if it's requested.
Wrestler Sting would make a great Crow.
He's got the makeup. He just as he is, kind of looks like the Crow with that makeup on.
Okay, a minute. Oh yeah, well definitely, yeah. This new Crow there, yeah. I mean, even the old Crow a little bit, yeah. And I had to Google him. I did not know who Sting was. Let me share that. Boom. There. Oh yeah. Maybe click on that. Can I make it bigger? It's going to take us somewhere. Oh, it took us here. But yeah, I'm not the biggest wrestling fan, and so did not know.
But you can kind of see it there. If you wanted
totally
to do the makeup a little differently, yeah, that looks very kind of Crowish. Yeah, I can totally see that.
Totally, yeah. When is Deadpool 3 coming to digital? That's a good question, Antonis. Probably a while from now, because
probably November.
Yeah,
is what I'm thinking. Probably. I mean, it's still making money, but there is going to be, and I hope this is real because I've read it on a few sites, a 4-hour cut is coming out.
I don't know that I would want to see that. I just, it was a good movie, but like, I don't know that I need it any longer. I know there's going to be some diehard fans and purists that would absolutely love that. So that's great for those of you that would want it, but man, 3 or 4 hours of superheroes is just I can't do it. I can't.
As long as they release the original cut, I would love to see a 4-hour one. And yes, you guys are correct. Rapid Fire is awesome. It's actually from the Dwight H. Little who did Halloween 4. Showdown in Little Tokyo is great. That's another one. That's with Dolph Lundgren. So it's this guy, Brandon Lee, was huge. He was going to become. He's one of those guys that women wanted and guys wanted to be. Like you could take your girlfriend to a Brandon Lee movie and not feel weird about it. You could go, I could see, honey, I could see how you find him, that you like him. And then she could go, well, I could see how you like him too, because he's out there kicking ass. It's one of those guys that just appealed to both sides, and it's just such a shame. It's so
like Tom Cruise.
Yes, exactly like Tom Cruise.
Mr. Bones says because Walmart's trying to be Best Buy, that's why everything's there that they have is getting pricey. Yeah, they know they've cornered the market as far as going out to physical media hunting in stores with the new retailers. Walmart's basically it anymore. And so,
but they're still good at toys. I did pick this up. I picked this up.
What you got?
I got this.
Nice. From the new Transformers 1.
Yes, I wanted to get, and I will call this a toy. It's not a figure; it's a toy.
Okay.
So it is ages 6 and up, but it was like $15, and it's not going to leave the box. So I just wanted one thing from it because I checked on eBay, and it looks like the Michael Bay stuff does cost money. People do Ninja Turtles and stuff like that. It does increase. So I decided to pick it up. So toy wise, if you want toys, they got toys. They got a lot of toys there still, but not movies. So
Yeah. So it's funny. The Walmart, I actually walked into a Walmart yesterday when I was driving around looking at the forest fire that was trying to burn my house down because I complained about my electricity bill. The Walmart over here has a very small movie section. The Walmart that I went to the other day up the hill has like twice the size of this one. It is funny how the different cities and the way they're zoned and what Walmart decides to stock where. It's crazy. So like out in Vegas, John, do you know the YouTuber named Geriatric Geek? He's not a big YouTuber.
I'm going to say no, but that name, probably just the name alone, I know, because it's such a funny name. But
he's commented on my stuff. He lives in North Las Vegas, little bit older guy, but loves collecting movies, has a massive collection. And he does videos, and does giveaways and things. He's a great dude. But he had mentioned in one of his videos recently that he left Las Vegas, came out and was staying in Riverside, out very close to where that Fat Samurai guy lives and not too far from where I live. And he went to 3 different Walmarts when the media released the movies were supposed to come out, looking for them, and couldn't find any. He's like, they didn't have any movies. But then he got back to Las Vegas and he had to go to like 2 or 3 different Walmarts in Las Vegas to find all the movies he wanted. But he was able to find some. But out here, and it's in Fat Samurai Guy, Lady Fatblood, and I have talked about this, they just don't fucking put movies on the shelves, especially like the steel books or the new releases or 4Ks. It's very, very rare that you see them. And I get shocked. I get surprised when I actually see any of that stuff on my shelf. So a lot of it with Walmart depends on the area. So if you notice, if you're going out hunting for movies, like it's Tuesday, the new movies are supposed to be out. You go to one Walmart and they never have your stuff, but you go to another and you find it, probably stick to going to the one where you find it, because that Walmart probably is like zoned to get that stuff. And it sucks, but you got to go hunt and you got to go far. I wish the Walmart by me had stuff, but they just don't stock it for whatever reason.
It really sucks because when I was in there the other day, I'm going to be getting from work a gift card for like $25. I did something that they liked, so they're going to give me a gift card that I can use on Amazon. But nice. I went to it's kind of cool. And so I was at Walmart just to see what they had, and they did have Chucky season 3 on DVD, but not Blu-ray. And I'm looking and I'm looking and I'm looking and I'm looking, like, why would you have one and not the other? And so, but I found it on Amazon, so I'll have to order it off of Amazon. But a while back when Scream 6 came out, I was driving by a Target. I'm like, oh, let's see if they got it. And I went in and there was a young guy working there. And I'm like, hey, I don't see, today was supposed to be the release date. And I double checked for Scream 6. The guy's like, what? I'm like, Scream 6. He goes, I don't know what that is. He had no idea what Scream 6 was.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So
and
then
he probably knows what TikTok is, though.
Yeah. So I had to order it from someplace else.
Wow. Well, one thing you can do with Walmart with the steel books and things is you can order them through their website a lot of times. And if you have that Walmart annual membership deal, where you get like a discount on their gas and you get free shipping on the orders and stuff. You could buy movies there through their site. Or like, for me, if I'm going to order something, it's usually through Amazon. Although if you're very particular about your slip covers, Amazon does beat the shit out of their movies. It's like they have a fist fight with your movie before they deliver it to you. Daniel just ordered Deep Blue Sea 3. Nice. I haven't watched any of the Deep Blue Sea movies yet, but I have all 3 of them. I need to do that now.
So to watch them properly, so 1, 2, and 3. So 1 is a great movie. It's got one of the greatest speeches ever with Samuel L. Jackson. The second movie has nothing to do with the first movie at all. It's his own movie. But part 3 actually incorporates 1 and 2 into its story. Which I appreciate, because that's what I would do if somebody said, hey, do you want to make a part 3? I would incorporate the other 2 movies. So you kind of need to see the first and the second one to like part 3, which is better than 2, but not as good as part 1. So you need to watch all 3 to kind of get like the full story.
Very Blair Witchian, where the first and the third are, and then the second's.
The second Blair Witch is interesting because it's a biopic.
Yeah.
So Book of Shadows is a movie made about what actually happened to the people that went out to investigate the Book of Shadows.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that. There is a documentary called Book of Shadows that was on Sci-Fi Channel where they interview the real people, and you find out that, Book of Shadows is actually a movie about what happened.
Okay. Well, and like Fluffy Gamer, I enjoyed all 3 of the Blair Witch movies, but the first and third the third feels like a more of a sequel to the first, and the second one is just kind of different. So let's see. Mr. Bone says Walmart always sends their movies with this weird carbon vacuum sealed into the movie, and I always get them damaged. Okay, so Walmart does it too. That sucks. Wicked Network says I was never able to find the $5 steelbooks at Walmart. They took away $5. Well, they have the $5 bin, but they're all DVDs. That's the only $5 movies I see at Walmart.
I don't even think that's there anymore.
Well, at mine, at the ones around here, they are. But to your point, John, it does frustrate me, and I know there are some people out there still. I have a couple, folks, viewers that will remind me. Some of us are still just buying DVDs, and I get that, fair enough. But when I walk into Walmart, and I've been looking at, I'm trying to think. There's a relatively new movie, and I want to buy it, but they only have it on DVD. Every time I go in there, I'm like, I want the 4K. Stock the 4K. You have the same DVD sitting on the shelf for months now. Nobody's buying it. And the problem is the people in upper management of Walmart are going, nobody's buying the DVD. So sure, they're not going to buy the 4K. Like, no, you're going to get mad at me because I don't buy VHS cassettes or 8-track tapes too. Like, I'm sorry, put the new media out there and let me buy that. I want the new stuff. So yeah, I get a little frustrated with that. As I do, I get all emotional, hyped up, and pissed off when I watch shitty movies. And not that I'm bitching at anyone in particular. I'm just, well, aside from the filmmaker, I bitch at the filmmaker. But White Trash Jedi, what's up? Still have not seen BW3 yet. BW3.
Oh, Blair Witch.
Oh, Blair Witch 3. I enjoyed it. I think it's worth the watch. And
it's Adam Weingart who does the Godzilla stuff now. I like the time travel aspect of part 3.
I keep forgetting. I've reshuffled everything around here, and my B's used to be right there. But I went and got at Walmart that Blair Witch a steel book, but it only had 1 and 3. So then I have part 2 separate, but it's very weird that I have 1 and 3 and not 2. But I enjoyed the franchise enough, and I was the guy that when it came out, I was not watching movies or whatever. I didn't see the Blair Witch movies until I want to say like 2015 or 2016. I hadn't seen any of them.
Wow.
And I had some time to kill, and I sat there and watched them back to back to back, all 3 of them in one day. So, and I enjoyed them. I recommend it. I think if you enjoyed part 1, you'll enjoy 3, I would say. 2. I mean, I enjoy 2. But
I saw the first one at least 6 times in the theater. I owned the CD. I owned the companion book.
Nice.
I was completely engulfed in Blair Witch because their marketing was so great that the CD that you could buy was the guy's CD mixed, like a mixed CD that was found in his car. And so they just brought it out, but this is
How
the
cool
music
is
that he
that?
was listening to. And then the book is the like a companion with all the photos and the maps and the drawings of the Blair Witch and all the stories and stuff. So that was, they did a whole bunch of that type of stuff with it, which was great marketing. And I fell for it. I went totally for it.
Yeah. White trash is every time I watch, I want to go camping. I know. I'm like, every time I watch that movie, I want to go make a movie. I'm like, fuck, get your camera. Let's go. Let's go. But and Fluffy says, yeah, internet hype was real for that one. Yeah. And I remember that because a lot of people were like having to Google, oh, is this movie real? Did they really get killed? People just didn't know, didn't put them, like there are elements of the movie Blair Witch where you're going like, okay, obviously this is, a movie and not like a true found footage where people really died. And I'm trying to remember what is the name. There's another movie that I have that I watched not too long ago where people were like questioning, oh,
is it The Last Broadcast?
No.
That's the movie that was made at the same time. Oh, the Poughkeepsie, yeah.
People were like, oh my God, is that real? Is that, whatever? And it's not, it's a movie, but like Blair Witch, they did a great job, but Blair Witch so much better with the marketing and stuff. Blair Witch with marketing is, who's doing a great job like Blair Witch did is the Terrifier franchise, because they are marketing the fuck in a different way, but they are marketing the fuck out of that franchise.
That new trailer for Terrifier 3, I'm there first day. I love the Terrifier movies. I know you don't like them, but I freaking love them.
I understand the following. I understand the love for them. And I just, hey, the second one, there are a lot of great elements to it, but there are a lot of problems I have with it. I will be watching the third one as well, to at least talk about it and review it and everything. But I'm just not a big fan. Hopefully they could change my mind. I mean, David Howard Thornton's a phenomenal actor, and he does a great job when he puts on that clown suit.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Wicked Network says, I just pre-ordered Blair Witch 99 from Second Sight Films box set coming out in November. Very nice. Speaking of found footage, did you see they're remaking Amber Alert? Kind of wild, same director, but looks like a much larger scale now. Okay. I've not seen Amber Alert. I know what an Amber Alert is. Are you familiar with this movie, John?
No.
Yeah, me neither. I was 16 when Blair Witch came out. I don't want to talk about how fucking old I was. John probably doesn't either. We snuck into the theaters. Nice. Yeah, we definitely weren't 16. Might not have had any gray hair at the time, but we definitely weren't 16.
I do like that Logan Ludwig there. I think that is a picture of Art Garfunkel. Is that Art Garfunkel on there?
Yeah, definitely looks like it. Yeah.
I like that. A very misunderstood musician. Very important to Simon and Garfunkel, but people make fun of him all the time.
Really? Boy, that is a conversation for another day. But
I'm telling you want to know what an angel sounds like? Just listen to Bridge Over Troubled Water. Oh my God.
Yeah,
his voice is absolutely amazing. And even Paul Simon said that he couldn't even sing it. He sings a bridge in it, not the Bridge Over Troubled, but a song bridge.
Gotcha. Yes.
But he knew that only Garfunkel could sing that song. And it brings tears to the eyes of how his voice is amazing.
Interesting idea. Yeah, I enjoy. I love the movie The Graduate and Hello Darkness, My Old Friend, and all that, so on and so forth, whatnot. And Simon and Garfunkel, I couldn't name any of their music, but I know of their music, and I know there is plenty of their music that I do enjoy, but I've not been like a super fan or anything and know that much, but that is very interesting. And Fluffy wants to try and say that I am a fan of Terrifier. Fluffy's trying to out me, but here's the problem. I'm not. I think I've made. I almost got banished from that Phat Samurai guy's house from not being a Terrifier fan. I spoke blasphemous words in the movie dojo over there and almost got kicked out for saying for talking shit about Terrifier. So that's pretty funny. But anyways, man, what a I know I get a little heated and animated, not and it's not at you, John, at all in any way, shape, or form. But in talking about shitty movies, I always get amped up, and that's why I think people enjoy when a bad movie comes out and I review it, people get excited because they know I'm going to lose my shit. Well,
your people over there asked you to go see The Crow too, and now they got your opinion. So it's Hollywood they want to throw stuff around and make it different, and it doesn't work. So like the remake of My Bloody Valentine 3D, they switched who the killer is. Story wise, it does not work. Did I like the movie? Yes, I love the original, but I did like the remake. But the twist doesn't work because it's not possible for the twist to happen, even though they try to make it happen. The teacher obsession of the young student in the remake of Prom Night doesn't work. It's too convoluted. Just keep it. Guy's sister dies. He takes revenge at the prom. Yeah, it's very simple. It's these things are simple premises, and instead they want to make them so complicated and make it so different that the stories just don't work.
That's a problem. And I think that's part of the problem with the new Crow is that they tried too hard to be different and they settled for bad storytelling in effort to be different. And that's not good. That is not good.
There we go. Thank you, Wicked Network. It's my favorite action movie of all time.
No, Wicked Network believes that I am a big fan. I know he kids. He knows my distaste for the Fast and the Furious franchise. And I can't really say I hate him because I've never seen him, but Fluffy will remember. Fluffy, yes, and I do love me some angry Asian murder hornets. So does John. You probably have copies and all of that.
I actually have films. It's sitting right up here. It's really right here. But
looking hilarious.
But apparently, somebody like Wild Eye must have thought the title was racist because now it's just murder hornets. It's not angry Asian murder hornets.
Just murder hornets. Yeah.
Yep.
That is funny. I really like the remake for Last House on the Left. I don't think I've seen one of them. I don't know if I've seen it was original or remake. No, I don't remember.
I can't. No, I can't go with that one. That's I don't even own it. I own the original, but I can't. No, I can't do this. The remake of that. And I worked with David Hess, so it's. I have a love for the original because of working with David Hess. So
there you go. Well, see, and that's the beauty of movies and being a fan is that we're allowed to be hypocrites. We're allowed to like one thing, even though like we know it's bad. We're allowed to like things because they're fun. And so sometimes you like it and it's like, okay, I like that movie, even though I know the story's dumb or I know it has these problems with those problems or whatever. And that's the beauty of it all, is that there is no right or wrong. There's whether you like it or not, and who cares what anybody else thinks. So it makes movie watching a lot of fun, and then talking about it. That's why we're able to do this.
There are some things that I really question. So I agree with you 99%. But on Facebook, I did compare the new Crow to a Nickelback song. So
that's fucking hilarious. It was great.
to somebody singing unironically a Nickelback song. And because I hate Nickelback. So there are people out there, and I've questioned them many times, where do you like something because you grew up with it? Is it just nostalgia? So do you like Ghostbusters Afterlife, even though the film is fun, but is a horribly written movie because it's Ghostbusters? Is that the only reason why you like it? And so I question that type of stuff, but people go, oh, I like The Crow. Well, the new Crow. And it's like, do you really? or is it just because you like the
you're
original?
a Crow fan. Yeah. So I like that. That is funny. And I agree with you. There are a lot of fans that just like it because they like it. And that's where like that new movie Stream that has every B movie actor in the history of B movies in it. I think people are going to like it because, I'm a fan of Danielle Harris, or I'm a fan of, this actor or that actor or whatever. And so I think they're going to like it because of that. But so what you're saying is in the movie, The Crow, when he starts thumbing through the pictures, remember he has his pictures. What he should have said was, "Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh."
I hate that fucking song. God, do I hate that song. Photograph. It's so
Every
awful.
time I do, it makes me laugh. It's a pretty funny picture, though.
That is that's a good picture right there.
It was a perfect opportunity for me to dust off the vocal cords and and throw some shade on Wet Movie One again, as I love to do, and he loves it too. He knows it. He's my bitch. But anyways, man, no, it's funny. There are probably 2 or 3 songs from Nickelback that I'll rock. There's a couple. The Blowjob song. I don't remember what it's called right now. It's been so long, but
I haven't sat down and listened to their discography, but I mean I've heard like the greatest hits, and I know that I mean some people even say like I don't want to see The Crow. I know it's going to suck, and they'd be like, well, why don't you watch it and make up your own mind? Well, okay, I've listened to Justin Bieber because he has videos out, so I've heard like 3 or 4 of his songs. I don't think I need to listen to all of his albums to know he sucks. So it's
no, very true.
Yeah.
I get that.
And it's oh wait, Fluffy says Fast and Furious lost me after 5. Well, 5 is the best one, and you should be sticking with it because eventually they go into outer space. So they actually fly a car into outer space. They put jet engines on it, and they soared into outer space. I love Fast and Furious. I really
Fluffy could tell you how quick that franchise lost me, because he came over, or we were somewhere with the first movie, and he put it on. I made him turn it off after like 10 or 15 minutes, and that's all I've ever seen of the entire franchise.
They work like the Saw movies, where like Saw 3 answers Saw 1, but Saw 2 has stuff that's in Saw 5. Saw 5 answers stuff that's in Saw 4. They do that, and the Fast and Furious films do the same thing. They like Tokyo Drift is a prequel, and then you have like part 1, which takes place over here, and then part 7 really takes place back here. And so if you watch them in chronological order, it actually makes sense. So,
well, my problem was the acting and the storytelling and the filmmaking in the first 15 minutes of the first one sucked. And I was like, please stop doing this to me. So I had him turn it off. I was not a fan. And I've never gone back. The Nickelback song, Something in Your Mouth, you look so much better with something in your mouth, like however that goes. But it's he's singing, basically telling this girl to like shut up and put his dick in her mouth. So it's kind of fun. I like the song. It's a good song. It's a catchy tune.
Maybe if it was by somebody else.
Yeah, there you go. Metallica, sing Something in Your Mouth. Ugh,
there you go.
So much better with something in your mouth.
Inside your mouth.
Oh man, and the drums will be all out of rhythm.
Do that horrible snare drum from Saint Anger or Mr. Anger or Shit Anger or whatever it's called.
There you go.
I hate that
At least we agree on that album. With
that is a garbage album. It really is a garbage. What is it? Saint Anger? I think it's Saint Anger, right?
I think it is Saint Anger. Yes. Simon and Garfunkel, sing Something in Your Mouth. There you go. I can hear that in my head, but there's no way it's coming out of these vocal cords. So John, I think we're going to get ready and kind of wind the stream down. I got to talk again about, I would, and I won't boot you out before I mention the stuff, just in case, because I'm curious on your thoughts. So I'm going to be starting a new show with Master Chaos, Mel, as in my killer podcast, Mel, and Jeff Mandel, the director of the 80s horror movie Elves. We're going to be starting a new, there's a whole new channel, and I have the link down below. I'd like everybody to subscribe and join us, as our first episode will be on September 18th on a Wednesday. And so it's Ultraterrestrials will be the name of the show. And we're going to be diving into anything involving UFO sightings or ghosts or any type of haunts or things that people have experienced in their real life, or believe, or question these things. We're not going to take it all as like, oh my God, you say it, so it's real. But we're going to kind of investigate this stuff and have a little fun with it. So, John, I think I know where you stand on most of this stuff. But have you ever experienced a ghost, seen a UFO, or been haunted, or anything of that nature?
No, because I don't believe any of that stuff exists. So not one of them.
I knew exactly where that was going to go. Yes, so I knew exactly.
No, but I do have plenty to say about it. So I mean, it's I do like talking about it. It was funny. Is a certain filmmaker who made Murder Hornets asked me if I wanted to participate in a UFO, Dusty, and I said, sure, I'll be in this UFO thing, which was I would film somebody who's had what they say is an actual experience with UFOs, which was Oz. And you know who Oz is. And so I filmed him, but it didn't come out right. Dusty didn't like it. And so I reshot it. He thought it was okay. And he goes, well, now, do you have anything else that I could put on this like compilation thing of people who have seen UFOs? And I said, well, no, but I could just make shit up. Right. I'm like, I could just film myself saying I saw a UFO. And he goes, well, no, it has to be real. And I'm like, they're not real. They're just not. So it is, well, you need to have more of an open mind. And I'm like, I do have an open mind. If an alien came to this planet, they'd get the fuck out of here because we're the most violent thing in probably the entire universe. So, they've probably monitored us and seen all of our wars and movies and stuff to know that if they did land here, they just get destroyed. So if aliens do exist, they've probably never been here, in my opinion. But he got very mad that I said that they don't exist and that I would just film some bullshit and send it to him. So it's like, I'm sorry, I don't believe in Bigfoot either, but I can go dress somebody up in a gorilla outfit and have them walk behind some trees and film that.
I don't buy Bigfoot. I don't buy into Bigfoot. I am curious. I am very curious about UFOs. And now again, and UFOs don't necessarily have to be from outer space. They could be just things, where UAPs now, unidentified aerial phenomenon. It is very interesting to me that topic, because is it our government that is developing things? Is it a foreign government that's developing some of these things that are being seen in the sky? Is it people bullshitting? And that's where it's kind of fun to talk about that stuff. And so I knew where you would go with that. So that's why I led you down that path.
I am a person of science. So if you can prove it to me, like, I'm fascinated the fact that they said that during World War II, a UFO did excuse me. Wow. Did land in Berlin, or crash landed, and Hitler used that material to create tanks and planes, hence Foo Fighters. And that if you look at his planes and tanks and other military vehicles, they do look different than a lot of other, like countries do. And they're saying that's because he used alien technology. So it does fascinate me, even though I don't think that happened. It does fascinate me to think, that maybe these things could exist, but I don't think they do.
Yeah. And that's fair. And I get it. And don't hold your breath on being a guest. just for the fact that we are looking for, maybe not necessarily just people who blind faith believe, but, those who are, really curious and a little more open-minded. And that's not to say that you're wrong for believing what you believe. I like to consider myself a person of science as well. And I like to experience something or see something firsthand before I am willing to say, yes, this is real. And also believing that the human mind is designed to connect dots and make us say, oh, well, I saw something in the sky. I don't know what it is. It has to be a UFO. It has to be an alien or something. So the human mind does play tricks on us in that sense. But, but as far as, this is the tough thing, is I've experienced multiple things in my life that I cannot explain. And I would like to be able to explain, but here's the problem. Even if I could explain these things, convincing somebody else is impossible. So, because I was the only one that experienced these things, is it my mind playing tricks on me? Did it really happen? Who knows? But the being open-minded and looking and willing to listen and hearing people's stories and things that they saw or think they saw or whatever, that's what's going to be fun about that podcast there, the ultra terrestrials. So link down below, everybody. So if you would, please subscribe to that channel.
So, I mean, it might be decent to have a skeptic on there then. It's just like if you have like a religious channel, it would probably be interesting to have somebody who doesn't believe. So then you can have that debate and that discussion instead of just everybody agreeing, which is,
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying there with that. But I think the issue, and so a lot of people that watch YouTube or videos or whatever, they want to watch something that they agree with, and a lot of people don't like clicking on argumentative or combative conversations. And so I think because that's something we can explore down the road, but I think for right now we're going to be kind of exploring and talking about our experiences and getting people on that have had experiences. And we're going to kind of really cater to the folks that are kind of more open-minded and or believe at this point. So
I get it. I will not be expecting a link,
Yeah.
It's unfortunate because when I was much younger, when I was more of a kid, I believed in UFOs, Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster. I believed in all that stuff until it started all getting debunked. The Bigfoot was just a guy in a costume. The Loch Ness Monster, a guy put a head on a piece of board and took a picture of it. The UFOs were just gas. It wasn't, or it was a weather balloon or whatever it is. And slowly but surely, all of this stuff, I'm just like, I can't believe any of this. I mean, if people do, that's fine. But I just think I'm one of these guys where if they said in that house, there were 20 murders, anybody who walks into that house is going to get murdered. I would sleep in that house for, if you gave me money.
Oh, 100%. Oh no. People say like, oh, would you sleep in a graveyard for $1 million? I'll sleep in a graveyard for $100. Like I'm not worried about it. So that I get. My outlook on it, and I think I don't want to speak for anybody else, but I think like Master Chaos as well is we are curious, and the idea that maybe somehow, someday, some way, somebody could convince us that UFOs or ghosts are real. I'm never going to buy into Bigfoot. It's stupid. We explored too much of this planet. Loch Ness Monster, come on now. It's a lake. We'd find it. I understand like the bottom of our ocean is very, very deep. And there are big creatures that come out of there, like these giant squids and stuff like that. I don't care about that shit. I care about the stuff. And what really fascinates me about a lot of this, especially the alien aspect of it, is for 100,000 years or however long human beings have walked the planet, For things to change so drastically from the 1940s till now. I mean, you go back. I mean, okay, we had automobiles, there was airplanes in the sky, but with the development of nuclear weapons and nuclear energy and harvesting that, human civilization has changed so fucking much in less than 100 years. And I mean, even if you just want to go back to the development of automobiles and say, you know what, since like 1900, you know, since we started, you know, cars and airplanes and stuff, just in that 124 years, it is mind-boggling how quickly we've advanced and figured things out. And if it came out that there were aliens or whatever assisting us, it would not surprise me because of how fast things have evolved. Because forget scientists and being smart and everything. We know how corrupt governments are. And if there is nothing in it for the government and these politicians padding their pockets, none of this stuff's ever going to advance. Just like medicine. I think we could probably already cure cancer, but that would keep money out of politicians' pockets. So I think, you know, big pharma is not allowing it to happen, and the governments are fine with that. So for all these things just to develop this quick, it is fascinating. And I think more than just saying, I'm ready to believe, I'm willing to believe, I do believe, I am fascinated in the topic. And I want to believe, but I also need that proof. And so that's what I think we're diving into. And so I think it's going to be fun, and we'll see how the show goes and progresses. And if someday, whether that's first episode or the, you know, 20 episodes in, if we decide, oh, we need a person that's going to say, no, this is stupid and you guys are all wrong, then I think maybe we look at bringing, you know, that person on, whether it be yourself or somebody else. But I don't, and I understand your perspective, and believe me, you know, when it comes to religion and a lot of different things, I think somebody that just takes blind faith and says, oh, I believe you because you say, like that fucking woman in the mist that, thank God Toby Hooper put a bullet in her fucking head, because I could not stand her. And then
Toby Hooper,
or wasn't it? No. Toby, what's his name? His name's
Toby,
right?
Yeah. His first name is Toby. I'm blanking on his second last name. Yeah.
You're right, though. Not
and
Toby
and,
Hooper,
and she definitely deserved it because she ended up killing the military guy and sacrificing him.
Yes.
So
no,
it's so and that has a lot to do with why we have not progressed further. Are women like her who use religion as a weapon. And
Toby Jones,
yes,
my fault,
and stops progress from happening. So we might have flying cars by now if it wasn't for, you know, somebody like a woman in the mist that's saying, you know, that we have to sacrifice people to the, you know, to something. So it's just I don't know. I would like to think that these things could exist, and I mean I did have a scare with what I thought was Bigfoot. But I don't think it was. I think it was probably a bear, because I did go to that area where the famous footage was, where they shot and my mom dated a guy and lived in Reading, and he took me to that area.
Yeah. Wow, man, Fluffy and I could tell you a story about Reading. So Toby Maguire, there you go. It's Toby Maguire, not Toby Hooper. Look at this. Y'all remember that show in the 90s on Sci-Fi called Sightings? Fun show, but most of those anomalies were debunked. The only real thing is my hate for Nickelback.
There you go. Thank you.
Amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
That can never be debunked. That's a positive thing. But I do find it all very interesting. And it's I'm not a religious person, but I love learning about religion. I love learning about other countries, and I love learning, you know, the history of religion and historical figures, if they were real or not. So it's for somebody who doesn't believe in these type of things. I find them fascinating to watch documentaries and, you know, and stuff like that. So it's I think that you have to be, you know, you can't just close it out completely. Otherwise, you know, you'd just be staring at a wall.
Exactly. And the thing is, I think, in order for you to say, I don't believe, you have done the research to confirm your beliefs or to validate your belief of not believing, because I haven't seen anything. Show me something. And I get that. And that's part of the interesting part to me too, is show me something interesting. And now, so for example, what piques my curiosity? Can I say that this was a ghost? Can I say that it was because of this guy dying where he did? I cannot confirm that, but I can say something happened that was very interesting. And that is when I spent the night with Matt in Stu Unger's hotel room there in Vegas. We went there where Stu Unger, the poker player, where he died, and supposedly that hooker stole his $20,000 or whatever. The spot on the floor where he died, I took in. I had my little, electric, whatever meter things, whatever they're called, for ghost hunting, where you get the readings of
your e-meter.
Yeah, so you get the readings where all the activity's taking place. The whole room, I'm getting like 1s and 2s and 3s, 1s and 2s and 3s. In the spot where he died, it was boom, popped up to like 60s and 70s. So, and we have this on video. And so, and it's not just pointing at that direction, and that's where it is. It was a circle. There was something going on, an electrical, like in a circle right in the area where he died. Now, is there something else that could have been causing that? Very likely. Is it his ghost right there? I don't have enough evidence to say that, yes, but there was something weird going on right there, and it was fascinating.
So scientifically, you would go back and redo exactly what you did before, and if it happens again, then that's something else. If nothing happens, then just something was happening that day beneath the floor, whatever it is.
What if he's still haunting that same spot? What if he's trapped in purgatory right there?
Well, I don't think there's anything you can do about that. I mean, that's what purgatory is. I mean, You're just kind of stuck there. There's like the entire Amityville house has been considered bogus. I mean, all that stuff. When the window falls on the son's hands, they said, "Oh, that's because if you press that on this floorboard, the window reacts." And they had a guy pressing on the floorboard, and the window opens and closes, and it's if you're in a room, and I saw this on one of the shows I watched where somebody said, my friend committed suicide, and we go into the house and all this stuff happens, and they described what happened, and so the host would be like, okay, so now what you need to do is go back, retrace your steps, do exactly what you did before. And if it happens again, now you could question it. But if it ends up being that it was just a semi truck driving by and it shook the house, and that's why this picture fell off the wall, then that's all it is. It's a semi truck that knocked the picture off the wall.
So the interesting thing about this, and I'd have to go back to the footage, but when we did when we stayed at that room, Matt and I did it, and we set up cameras all over the room, tried to get different things to happen. Nothing happened, but we did get that that reading in that one spot, and we were getting different numbers. As I believe at one point, it might have gone over like 100, but regularly it was like at a 60, 70, somewhere in there. But what was interesting to me, and again, here's the other aspect of this that is not provable to, like you, for example. We walked in that room, and we walked in, and Matt was filming me the first time I walked in. We walk in the room, and it's like, okay, it's kind of neat being here. But we go toward the back of the room, and I'll go on a lie detector and say this, but it's, just me saying it and me feeling the way I felt. Went to the back of the room, and all of a sudden I felt like a heavy weight on me. The air felt very heavy, and I got nauseous. I got very sick to my stomach. And so now, I mean, it could be any number. They could have been a chemical they used to clean in there. You could write it off as many, many, many different things. but that's the interesting part of it is let's dive into this. Let's talk about what could have caused that. Let's eliminate the possibilities and prove it wrong until we can't prove it wrong anymore. And if that day ever comes, then so be it. Then they're real. But until then, I think the idea of looking at the paranormal is an interesting topic. So
Sure. I mean, when we shot at the Clown Motel, people said that they were experiencing things. I experienced nothing. Absolutely nothing.
There's only one thing that I experienced that was interesting, and that is shooting at night. I forget which night it was. All of our batteries were all fully charged, had them on the charger all day. Tom kept putting in new batteries and they would just fucking die. And that's supposedly one of the things that happens with
bad batteries.
But we charged them and they worked fine the next day. So, I mean, it's kind of interesting that, you know, but that's, you could, you could, you know, have other reasons, or you could explain that. But also, one other thing that I didn't realize until much later is that with the camera audio, you do not pick this up, but with the Zoom audio there at the Clown Motel, there are anomalies in the Zoom audio. There are other noises and things that are picked up that are not on the camera and that we did not hear. And that is some of the footage that part of this, you know, what we're going to be doing with this ultra, get it right here, terrestrials. I have to remember that name. It's been beside me once there. Is kind of diving into that stuff and looking at that. I set a camera up in a building that was supposedly haunted for, I think we let it go for like 3 hours, and we got some crazy readings and some weird shit happened and stuff that we're all like, we don't know if it was each other making noise or whatever going on, but I still have all that footage and I just haven't had it in me to sit there and watch 3 hours of nothing happening in a room to see if anything does happen. But that's the kind of stuff we're going to be diving into, kind of looking, you know, and having some fun with it. So
I'll check out the show. I'll check out what you guys have to say. So
yeah,
it's yeah.
Well, and but what I'm going to be efforting a guest, somebody, you know, I'm one of the people I'm going to be trying to get on is Jesse Lee Pauley, because, you know, Jesse worked at the Haunted Museum there in Vegas, Zach Bagans Museum. And she told me while she was working there, she had a lot of bad things going on in her life, and she quit and it all stopped. And she was very spooked by the things going on at that museum. So I'm not saying,
and then I heard it's all fake. All of his stuff is fake.
Yeah. Oh, at the museum.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
yeah. That a lot of it, if not all of it, is fake. But it's also psychological too. I mean, if you're going to go into Zach Bagans, you know, place, you're already having your mind that this stuff is haunted, that it can hurt you. I mean, I bet I could sleep with the original Annabelle doll and nothing happens. Absolutely nothing happens.
And isn't that doll in his museum? I think. I think it's in the basement.
That I'm not entirely sure, but it's just, I mean, is just a Raggedy Ann doll. So,
but that would be still pretty fucking cool to see the original one, the one that sparked.
Oh yeah, no, I would love to see all that Conjuring stuff. Yeah, that'd be great. So
there's supposedly somebody's car there. Whose car? I can't remember, but like a locket of, and whether this would be haunted or not or anything, but a locket of Charles Manson's hair is kind of interesting, you know, like, I mean, it's weird, but I enjoy the weird. I enjoy weird shit. So, you know what, one show that I loved that's not on anymore, did you ever watch that TV show called Oddities?
No.
I think it was just called Oddities. But it was a show about this couple, this man and woman, and they had a shop in New York City, and they would buy and sell like weird shit that people had. Like people would, you know, I can't remember. I like make stuff out of like animal skeletons, make artwork out of it, and just weird fucking shit.
Weird.
Yeah, and so that was, you know, like stuff made out of human hair, weird things. The shop closed down, and I think they sell stuff on like an auction site or eBay or something like that now. But that was a fun show. I love that show. I don't necessarily know that any of that stuff was haunted, but it was just weird shit. So I enjoyed it. Anyways, I think a half hour ago I mentioned I was going to like start wrapping up the show here. And so, but I had mentioned that is coming up for me, the ultra terrestrial. So I would like everybody to go down, subscribe, and join us there, and look for a review of Beetlejuice from me later this week. And also Creep I.E con coming up. If I don't know when the sale ends, I don't know if it was midnight Eastern or midnight Western or whatever, but you can get tickets to Creep I.E on their website. Link is down below without the fees. So I did want to mention that as well. So, John, anything that I know I saw you have posted recently a couple links to videos that you have up. Care to mention any of those or talk about any of that stuff?
I'm doing each week, I think it's like Monday or Tuesday, I put up a new full moon features video of my collection, because it's so huge that so far I've gotten 5 videos out of it. So might take a break because I got this guy. I can now do my brand new Michael Bay video.
Nice.
So I'm excited about that. But yeah, each week I try to put up at least 2 videos. So, and then there's like film discussion with Donald Wills and myself, and one filmmaker and 2 filmmakers reviewing one film, which you've been on. You've also been on one filmmaker. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on there. So
very cool. So yeah, everybody make sure, if you're not, please, John's link is down below. Check him out. And so looking at the website there, it's Dr. Death's van is there at the museum. The van that Dr. Kevorkian owned.
Okay.
And I guess the transaxle, a piece of the car that James Dean crashed in, where James Dean lost his life. And they have Peggy the doll, touted as one of the most haunted dolls in the world. Peggy has caused nosebleeds, blah, 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 stuff like that. The Devil's Rocking Chair, Demon House. So, but that's just a few of the things that they have listed on their website. Over 30 rooms. Interesting. I would love to go walk around there. And I had mentioned to Matt about maybe going. Well, here's why you wouldn't go. I'll tell you one reason. Because if you want to go see it all and explore the whole museum, it's $80. That's steep. That is steep. Most museums are free or $10 or $15 or $20, not $80. So
$80 buys a lot of movies at Zia Records.
It fucking sure does. That is like one whole trip to a fucking Zia.
So for us, yes.
Maybe if I only go to Zia once this coming week, then I can afford to go there. We'll see. But I had mentioned to Matt, I was like, well, Matt, if you want to go, maybe because I thought maybe going like Friday or something. And I was like, well, maybe I'll buy your ticket. I told Matt, I was like, well, if we go, I'll pick up the tickets. And I looked and saw they were $80 and I went, ooch, yeah, that's not going to happen. So, so I have to let Matt know. I mean, I may go on my own and drop that $80 because I would like to be able to talk about this museum when we have our show, but I can't be dropping $80 for several different people. But as far as a Beetlejuice, if we can work it out, I will grab our tickets for Beetlejuice so we can go see it together and review it afterwards. So and I would like to go see it Thursday night. So, but we shall see if it's going to be sold out or whatever. You're off work Thursday, are you not?
I'm off. That's my day off. Yeah.
Okay. So maybe we can go check that out Thursday. But anyways, yes. So I'll be out Wednesday, I will be out there in Las Vegas, Nevada, and Nevada, hanging out and going to be having some fun for this week. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun few days out there, hanging out with you, hanging out with Matt, and doing some fun stuff. So
yeah,
looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it.
Well, thank you, John. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us tonight.
And thanks, everybody.
It's been a lot of fun. I will see you guys tomorrow. This was day 10 of the daily vlogs. So I have no idea in fuck where I'm going to be tomorrow. But hopefully out and about somewhere. I was going to go out and about yesterday, but Edison decided they were going to burn the mountain down out here because I was bitching about my electricity bill. So we shall see. I don't know where I'll be tomorrow, but Wednesday, I'll probably be doing a live stream from somewhere, either in or on the way to Las Vegas. So there you go. But anyways, I'm going to wrap it up. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.